Okay, so here I think we did not save it. Okay, no problem. I'll try to write that again. So configure host file. Let me complete that. So when you're configuring host file, what you need to do is you need to open this. See Windows System 32. Drivers etc. So this is the path. See Windows System 32 drivers etc. What you do is just copy host file and paste it under desktop. Then open host file from desktop with notepad option. Add below entry as it is. Add below entry as it is. So let me copy this in our note file procedure. This is the entry, you need to add it. Don't use lines, but just add this entry. And what to do is just click on save. Don't click on save as. Just click on save, it will save it as an original system file. Then what you do is copy host file from desktop and paste it under original path. That means this is the original path. There should be only one host file. So copy host file from desktop and paste it under original path. This is the path. That's it. So when you configure host file, what happens is, this is what happens. Let me explain here. So what we have done is, we have configured a host file. Why? Because SAP Web ID tool from your system, Web ID tool has to connect to backend server. It has to connect to SAP NetWeaver SAP NetWeaver Gateway EH7, or it can be S4 HANA. It doesn't matter, the same configuration. The only thing is IP address and the server name will change. So this is an OData server. That OData server can be SAP ECC, doesn't matter, or it can be SAP S4 HANA. But host file configuration procedure, service destination procedure remains same, irrespective of the backend. So here from Web ID tool, you need to connect to this OData server. This OData server internally contains OData services, service 1, service 2, etc. There can be n number of OData services here. And you can connect to these OData services. By connecting to that, you can develop your applications, Fiori, App 1, App 2, etc. Through Web ID tool, you can create different applications here. So ultimately, I can say Web ID tool has to connect to the backend server. So this connection becomes successful. This connection becomes successful only if you configure service destination file and after configuring host file. So the purpose of configuring service destination file and the purpose of configuring host file is just to establish connection between Web ID tool and your backend gateway OData server, whether it is ECC or S/4HANA, it doesn't matter, but the connection can be established only after configuring service destination file and host file. So if the connection is successful, then you can consume OData services. You can consume OData services. You can send and receive data between backend and your front-end application. So if the connection is successful, I can say you can consume OData services, you can send data, you can receive data with backend system. Connection is success. Then we can consume OData service. We can send data, we can receive data. The connection is success. We can consume OData service, we can send data, we can receive data. All those things we can develop, and we can develop end-to-end application only if this connection is successful. So that means you can use OData model. We can use OData model class. You can consume the service, you can send data, you can receive data, you can perform all types of database operations. So that's the reason why configuration is very important. So purpose of configurations. Okay, after doing this, you'll be successful. But what is a proof? Verification. The Web ID tool is connecting to backend OData server or not. So how to verify this? Whether SAP Web ID tool is connecting to backend server or not. So for verification, what we can do is open SAP Web ID tool. Here you can see this, and go to development workspace folder. Shift to development workspace folder. There will be one small icon. Under that, you can see here, you can right click new project from template. Right click workspace. We are going to do it every day, but for testing whether the connection is getting success or not, so for that we have to follow this procedure. New project from template. Select any template. We'll discuss templates later, but as of now, just select any template. It doesn't matter. For example, SAP Fiori worklist template. So here you can see when you right click new project from template. So there will be some templates here. Master detail template, UI5 template, Fiori application, worklist template. So select one of the template as of now. I'll discuss in detail what is the purpose of this template, how the templates output look like. So how to create applications through these templates, we are going to do it. There will be a lot of story, but as of now, just select worklist, click on next, and provide some project name. Provide some project name. So after this, you can see this is the important screen for testing. After providing project name, click next, and here you should get EH7. FIO is dummy. It's a dummy destination. Don't worry about that. EH7 is the actual service destination. So you should get this, and as soon as you select that, you should get this login screen. You have to provide the backend system login screen details here. How to connect to backend? The same details you have to provide here. And if the connection is successful, then you will get OData services. Now you can see I'm able to get that. I'm able to get list of OData services here. You can see that. So if you are able to get OData services, that indicates that your Web ID tool is successfully connecting to the backend OData server. So you can develop end-to-end application without any problem. Okay, so this is the actual testing screen here. Under service catalog, what you do is just select EH7. That's the actual system ID. And you should get list of OData services. So what's the purpose of this EH7? EH7 is the service destination. In real time, it can be ABC. It can be XYZ. In our case, our service destination is EH7. So you select that, and EH7 connects to SAP NetWeaver Gateway OData server. If it is on ECC, it connects to that. If it is on S4 HANA, it connects to that. Doesn't matter, but ultimately you'll get one service destination here, and it connects to NetWeaver Gateway OData server from SAP Web ID tool. And if the connection is successful, then list of OData services will be displayed. If the connection is successful, then list of OData services will be displayed automatically. So the backend details here, you need to provide backend details, user D1, password Vijay UI5. So this will help you to connect to the backend. If the backend connection is success, then the list of OData services will be displayed. Something like this. Now you can select a service, you can create a project, and that we are going to proceed further later. But as of now, just complete up to this procedure. Testing procedure. I mean to say, testing the connection between SAP Web ID tool and backend OData server. So just click next. After that, select service catalog. select system as EH7. In our case, EH7 connects to SAP backend OData server from SAP Web ID tool. Provide login details. You'll get login screen automatically. That is user D1 in this case. Okay, let me make it clear. Then, if connection is successful, then list of OData services will be displayed. So that is how you can verify and you can get confirmation whether Web ID tool is connecting to backend or not. So if the connection is successful, all the services are displayed. That means now you can develop any type of Fiori application by consuming OData service with the help of OData model. We can deal with all types of database operation and we can develop end-to-end applications. Now we are ready for SAP Fiori development. Developing end-to-end application. By consuming OData services. All Fiori applications will consume OData services. So how to develop, what are the different templates available in Fiori, how to develop the application, what is the syntax. So slowly we are going to start from tomorrow, okay? If you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
Hello, sir. So, do we have to do the same, follow the same steps when the real time for connecting the real server also?
Yes. This service destination is must. Whether it is cloud web ID or local web ID, doesn't matter, but the service destination file that should be available.
So, what is cloud web ID?
Instead of installing local web ID, as of today, what we have done, we have installed locally so that we can develop and we can work it within a faster manner. But if you want, you can go with cloud web ID. So you can go to that SAP website. There you will be able to enable a cloud web ID. But I recommend you to practice with local web ID because it is much faster. It will be in your control. You can test your applications very easily. After getting complete clarity, then you can go for cloud web ID. So cloud web ID, so web ID can be used in two ways. One is like and another is directly enabling cloud. The same coding, same procedure, everything is okay. But the only thing is you need to subscribe to SAP website and there you have to enable cloud web ID. So if you want, I'll send that procedure as well. Okay. But whatever may be, whether it is local or cloud, but ultimately the service destination file is important. So here you can see, let me open that again. So there is service destination file locally available. But if you install, if you try to enable cloud web ID, the same details you have to provide in that cloud. Which server you want to connect ID and whether if you want to consume more data services and all these options also must be configured. So the point is service destination settings are same for both type of web IDs. Instead of creating EH7 locally, you are going to provide the same setting in a cloud. That's the only difference.
Sir, how do we get that URL,
Which URL?
that EH7 training.sap for the client system?
In real time, you have to ask your administrator, because in your real time, you will be having a server with that particular name, right? So you need to contact your basis administrator for that.
Okay.
Because basis administrator knows everything. He knows about servers and server names, etc. Right? So you need to contact your base administrator in real time. But in our case, for practice, you can directly use this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then next doubt. Any other doubt?
Unmuted.
Yes, sir. This is Sunil.
Yeah, Sunil, what's your doubt?
Sir, if the changes are made in the local system, then how, sir, you are going to deploy in the SAP system?
So whether it is local web ID or any web ID, but ultimately the same screen, the same options you'll get. All the options will remain same. Okay, if you want to deploy to the server, if you want to deploy, you have to right-click your project and we are going to deploy to that backend server. Here you can see there is an option.
So it will ask for the TR, correct?
Creating a project, deploy to UI5 ABAP repository. So by using this option, we are going to deploy to the server and we are going to integrate that application into Launchpad, and users will connect to that application through Launchpad. So the point is, whether you are using cloud web ID or local web ID, doesn't matter. All these options remain same. That's the point. So deployment is also can take place. You can deploy any project here. You can right-click and deploy to UI5 ABAP repository. That is nothing but it is going to deploy that application to the server. Are you getting my point? So here you can see it is asking for that system ID, and you can deploy as a new application. Okay, it will take some time, but this is a procedure you have to follow. Deploy as a new application, then provide application name, then proceed. Right-click your project folder, then deploy to SAP UI5 ABAP repository. UI5 ABAP repository is one of the tool, or it is one of the component inside your backend system. Or I can say it is one of the component inside your ECC system. So right-click your project folder, deploy to UI5 ABAP repository, and ABAP repository is one of the folder or one of the component inside your ECC system if you are connecting to ECC. Okay, so this UI5 ABAP repository is common for SAP UI5 applications as well as SAP Fiori applications. So repository is common. The name of the repository is UI5 ABAP repository, but it is not only for UI5, it is also for Fiori applications. But the name of the repository is given as SAP UI5 ABAP. Okay. Then next doubt. Don't worry about deployment and integration of Fiori Launchpad at this level. Right now, we are just at the beginning stage. When we complete our development, then we go for how to deploy the application, how to integrate the application to Launchpad, how users will connect to that Launchpad. All those things will come at the latter stage, not now. First, we need to develop the app, so we'll focus on that now.
Sir,
Okay.
in
Yeah.
working in a real-time, real-time project, is any license or developer key required to develop in this web ID?
In real time, what you do is try to enable cloud web ID. When you enable cloud web ID, you'll get all the developer related permissions.
Okay.
Okay, here it is not required. For local installation, it's not required.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, what you do is first install this as per this procedure.